Long day, and just out for an evening run actually, and it's just a gorgeous evening. It's so nice to run and sort of finish the day in the woods with the dogs and with Robin. And yeah, another segment of Your Mindset Matters. And one of the things that comes up, many things, but one thing that comes up during our workshops when we do a coaching component, we invite our clients to consider the idea of withholding sort of the empty compliments around a Dora Fest, if you will, right? And if you don't know who Dora is, then maybe go online and have a look on YouTube or what have you, and you'll soon discover this wonderful little cartoon specimen who speaks awkwardly loud and repetitively. And oh my, if you're a parent, you'll know who I'm talking about. Anyway, one of the things that she says over and over and over again ad nauseum is good job, right? Good job. And what we invite clients to consider is don't say that. No matter how much you think it comes from a good place, and it does, and that you're just trying to be supportive of your team, of your employees, of your athletes, of whoever, you just want to acknowledge, right? You want to show your verbal support. Well, instead of showing verbal support, see if you can somehow get them to feel how much you support them without saying anything. Because here's the trouble with saying good job 300 million times a day in front of the same people, is that eventually it becomes white noise, right? It just becomes something in the background, right? Because no matter what your team member does, the person you're coaching, workplace or otherwise, is that eventually they just begin to learn that no matter what they do, you're going to finish the conversation or the interaction with good job, and it absolutely means nothing. And so and the second thing that sort of gets in the way of that thing being effective, or that expression being effective, is the idea that, let's say it wasn't a good job. Let's say the person you're coaching thinks it was crap, and then you go, good job. Well, what happens in that moment is that you lose your street cred. Your word no longer means anything, and you've lost trust, and that's a big deal. So instead of saying good job or anything, any sort of verbal compliment, just say nothing. Just try to let your team members feel how supportive you are without having to express it verbally. Instead, what you could ask would be, how did that feel? Or tell me what that was like. Or how did that go? And let them tell you how they felt it was. It's more powerful in terms of motivation and more sustainable if your team member, the person you're coaching, discovers or considers it a good job on their terms. If they think it was a good job, that's more important. It's not important as to whether or not you think it's a good job, because in terms of long-term motivation, it's their intrinsic motivation you want to spark. And the way you ignite that is by creating opportunities for them to be the determinant of whether or not they are doing a good job or not, because that's more powerful. And hell, I mean, Your Mindset Matters, and there's a perfect example where a team member having the power to decide whether or not they are worthy of a good job sort of expression or statement, it's just more effective, right? It's more effective. And also, it's hilarious. Bella, you got a few sneezes there, girl. It's also funny as to how many times, if you try to do that, how many times you will catch yourself going, oh my goodness, I wanted to say good job there. And yeah, but just see if you can see how it feels to say nothing, and then check in a week, 2 weeks, and just see how that's going with your team members, and if they've noticed a difference and what they think about it. Okay, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.